Don't think you fired yet. I think you're the last person finished.
I think I fired this round.
Okay.
We start a new round.
Yeah.
We start a new round.
Just leave it.
No, I think that's everyone then.
Just let it go.
I need to get it back into order. All right, so the one of
Well,
them
you've got
is gonna go and
I got
go for the bear, and it falls down. Like just it goes to attack, misses, but one thing you're actually able to see and something that it revealed in that mover, they're fighting with wild abandon, like a cornered predator. They don't view themselves as prey, but they also appear to be fighting with more ferociousness than they should be.
Okay.
You're up there. There's a prone veggie pygmy in front of you.
That's a 18 to hit.
Hits.
So that's 11 damage.
Dead.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go back and
Something's wrong with these.
go put my stuff back on because
Yep.
I did take everything off.
Yes.
Combat.
Yes.
Are there any more?
No.
Okay, I thought that was the last one. I just wanted to make sure
I
because
climb
I saw
down.
another attack.
Guess we'll try to climb down for once.
Spell again. So
I think that's the first time I've seen
your shit.
climb down.
We're gonna
instead
get
of
our shit,
flying
but
down.
let's get
Yes, I
these
know.
guys figured out first.
Their pile of stuff's right
The
here.
pile of stuff that was here and that was reclaimed outside is all returned. So
Okay.
Druid has his stuff back.
No, I'm a bear.
After I get all my stuff
You
back
start
on, I'm going to
eating
try
your-
to
You're
sneak back into the
Just start all
Does it work like that? I don't think it works like that. If it works like
reverts
that,
back and he's got it on like
I am an organic bag of holding. Just if you need something stored, just let me eat it. And it just
How do we get it back though?
You don't wanna know. You don't wanna know.
It's gonna be in there for at least like a day or two.
You'll get it in 1d4 days.
Plus
After
more
I,
if you have ample amounts of fiber.
after I get all my stuff back on from my minor illusion bush,
Yep.
So I guess we're going
I'm going to try to sneak in there to see if I
We
can-
are
Well,
going
they're
in.
walking in.
Okay, I was going to
You
try to
just got a
scout
light
ahead
spell.
to see if
I
there's
kind
any
of like nose my
no.
stuff over to
morbid
you. Like,
enemies in there.
can you hold this, bro?
Stay back. You're
I'm
out
gonna-
of health.
I'm gonna
Okay.
pile everything
I'll
I
stay
can
in
for
the
the
back.
druid into a backpack
Okay,
or whatever.
thank you.
Just-
Yeah.
Now, did they get my robe off and everything?
No.
Okay, good. So I was
You need
Yeah,
my
you're
robe.
your
So,
So you guys
Clear,
continue.
My robe.
how many naked party members did we have for this fight?
There was one naked party member. The bear was technically in the nude because it's a bear.
It's not that much different than Furball.
Yeah, he
to
did
be
get
fair.
pantsed.
Like,
Yeah.
I think I actually get a little bit smaller when I'm wild shape.
But so you guys continue on.
Alright.
You get to the about 70, 80 feet in, unmolested, with light up as a cantrip, allowing you guys to get in, and you find the remainder of party gear.
Alright. Look through that pile if there's anything valuable.
same.
The bulk. Go ahead and give me perception.
I'm pretty sure we all are.
Yeah, you got. It's a big pile.
Inspired.
That
It would
is
be
a-
understood as huge.
Yes.
That's a 16.
So yeah,
Alright.
D6.
13.
So perception, 15.
I only got like a 11.
23 for my bear smell.
You start sniffing through there.
I'm
You're-
I'm more
you
so
are
like
mostly able to determine that it is organic, though there are rotting corpses somewhere at the core of it.
Okay. I'm
Rotting
actually,
corpses being, you would identify them as animal and smell.
Okay. I'm also wanting to kind of sniff down the cave further, like not going down there, but just seeing if there's any smell coming from further down the cave that would be distinct. That was more
There
so what I was
is a
thinking.
very distinct smell coming from the cave.
You slowly.
It is the lack of smell. You would expect dampness. There is no dampness. You would expect something earthen. There is no earthen. It is almost as if everything had been medically scrubbed and there was just nothing. So you have a smell of nothingness coming up.
That's more disturbing than most things, especially in a natural environment. There's never no smell. Of course, nobody else knows that.
Alright, so we find anything in the pile?
No, there was nothing
No
besides
magic items,
just
no
amount of.
gold, no.
There was
I did get
150.
my
that
stuff.
everything you had has been recovered.
Is there anything other extra, like gold wise?
No.
Okay.
You don't know what they found.
These are vegapygmies that are combing through the vegetation.
What about that thing of bark they were weaving?
What exists here appears to be barely started patterns, though on closer examination they appear to be more clothing in nature, designed for something of a small frame. But again, that's just based on the patterns that are laid out.
Okay.
Did we see
Is them wearing clothing?
No.
Does it resemble the Gnoll's wooden armor in any way?
No. This is very crude in its construction and appears to be just crude. Like one might have been working on a shirt, but you know that only because there's a hole for where there would be a head in the pattern, some arms.
Stealth boy.
Yes.
You want stealth? Go on ahead.
Alright. I'll start stealthing on ahead then.
Alright, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
19.
Alright,
We will fall behind him a good ways.
define a good ways.
40 feet.
If you want the light not to appear, it's going to have to be at least 60.
60.
No, I got 60
Oh,
good dark vision, so.
I'll put his hand. Who else cannot see in the dark? Just you two. Alright, you two hold hands.
Something with dark
The bear
vision.
raises a paw.
Alright, and well, trick over each other. Never mind.
I mean,
I
caves
mean,
live in
I'm a large.
bears.
I'm
Can I
a
just
large.
jump on top of his back?
I am
I
a
was
large
about to say,
creature.
you want to
Roll
run
me
I'm a-
animal handling.
Do
I'm like a grizzly bear over here.
Do bears get dark vision?
You're
Some
looking for
bears
a
don't.
GC 10.
Double check. Yeah, the cave bear
No.
does. That's a
The way
CR2.
that a
Can't
cave
find
bear
those.
moves, well, sorry, not a cave bear, a bear moves, is just too much like you can't stay on the back and ride. It's just, you're not able to
That's
maintain
sad.
your balance.
Okay.
The
Well,
one
it's
thing
finally
he
come
can't
to that.
ride.
What?
So the one thing he can't ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
You hear me go. Note to self: invest in saddle.
Alright, so you guys
Fair point.
begin descending. Go ahead and give me perception for Stealth Boy.
Oof, that's an 8.
Alright. You don't really notice it until you're right up on it. There's a plant door right to your left.
A door.
A door. And by plant door, what I am meaning is a mass of plants that appears to be both rooted and grown in position, but in some way appears to have some sort of locking mechanism. Like you can't move it, as the plants appear to be anchored in some way, and the more you pull it, the harder it is to move.
Right. Is there any holes in it?
No.
Okay.
You would need to make a thieves' tools check to attempt to unlock it.
Alright, before I do that, I would like to roll perception to see if I could listen to anything in there.
Go ahead.
That is a 17.
You hear mutterings in common, but it's so low that you're not able to identify what is being said.
Okay, but I know it's common.
You recognize the sounds, yes, and the
I'm-
speech patterns.
I'm going to
It's kind of
immediately
like
head back to the group and let them know that there is a wooden door up ahead and there is
It is a
somewhat
plant door up ahead.
plant door
It is living vines.
made out of living vines where someone or multiple people behind it are speaking common.
Where there is one voice behind muttering in common.
No, let
will.
him tell it.
You shouldn't.
I will
let him
find a
tell
way
it.
to open it.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go back and start using my
I see.
thieves'
Pull out
tool
my
to-
lockpicks and a
Hey,
dagger.
hey. I'm the locksmith here.
You're a rogue.
Yes.
Okay.
With a background in locksmithing.
Okay. This is all right. Show
Alright,
me.
go ahead and give me a thieves tool.
Locksmither.
Do you have thieves' tools?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead and roll with them. They're a dexterity based skill. Use your proficiency bonus.
Alright. That's a 14.
You cannot figure out how to open it. Give them 10 minutes of time.
All right. I'll try. And figure it out.
Now, hold on, wait. Before you roll, are we even there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Just
all
wanted
walk
to make
back.
sure.
Yep.
Let's see. 19.
You find a pattern in the vines.
My background is locksmith.
Well, he never dealt with a plant.
My background's singer.
Don't take it too hard. I'm assuming we've never
So,
done that.
yeah.
The
You
vines
are a
kind of
singer, you
come
would know
loose.
how
You
to get
feel
in
that the
things.
door now has give to it.
Gun your mom.
What is notable is that it was locked from the outside
Okay.
and that it opens in.
He just comes up and click. It's on this side.
Okay.
I rolled that on that, to be
I
honest.
guess get him ready. Kind of motion you like, hey, I'm about to open this. Open and let him go through.
All right.
The pebble with the light, I actually chuck it in.
Okay. So the door opens. You hear. Well, this is interesting. As you open the door, you see about 30 feet back a pure gray gnome picks it up and is just looking at it. Looking back at the door, sees your Eladrin form in the door.
Hello there.
Greetings. Theodore, serial prisoner at your service.
Prisoner.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him by the shoulder and it's like, yeah, no, we're gonna lock this door back.
Give me a perception while you're able to look into the room.
Alright. That's a modified 20.
You see various plant figures on stakes. Modified stakes that are sitting up and dead figures of plants sitting on top of them.
Plants is being
Mock-ups of, like, I took some grass, bound it together, and it's now stuck on the stake. There's like a dead flower sitting on another one.
Alright.
All approaching him.
Can I roll insight at this point?
The door has been shut. He is the only one who was able to see him.
Because prisoners are prisoners for a reason.
But he's also a prisoner of the vegetation.
Would I have been able to see in there? In the brief second?
You would have heard, not seen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't like this.
You hear a rasping of a knock at the end of vines. There's more of you out there, yes? Freedom is here, yes?
Should we lock the door?
I'm gonna. I'm just gonna open the door. He goes, I heard
You
you
have
as
a-
Theodore.
Yes, Theodore. Serial prisoner at your service.
What were you
Fascinating
prison for?
individuals. I was traded here by the giants. And do you know what these things tried to do to me?
Strano.
They tried to pot me and grow me like they could make more.
Is that a thing that you can do with?
Can I roll an insight check on him?
Yes.
I can't tell anybody, but 16.
He's telling the truth. He seems genuinely insulted and half amused at the occurrences.
So you said you were a serial prisoner. So what other places have you been prisoners at?
I have been initially prisons in the north, then transferred to hobgoblin tribes that wander the north. I was imprisoned with She Who Swims. I have been imprisoned with the giants, the trolls, and now here with us at the Vegapigmies. Glorious lot, right?
Yeah.
Hold on a
formerly
second. However you
glorious
survive all
Stories, yes, many
The
stories.
that.
So, see,
I want an insight check.
go for it.
Let's see. Inside. Yeah, it's gonna be a 13.
All right. He's being completely honest in how he just goes forward to describe these stories.
Okay.
So the Northmen, I was initially part of an expedition. We wandered north. Most of us captured prisoners. I was the only gnome in the group. Maybe they thought me an oddity. Someone short. Someone who is interesting. But, alas, interests only lasted for so long before I was traded off to She Who Swims. Spent some time there, nasty area. Escaped not long. Her things, not good at guarding people. Slipped away, picked up by hobgoblins. Contented myself, as being a prisoner is a lot, you could say. A lot in life. You end up getting fed, touted around like a trophy, but they treated me relatively well. I spent my time with them before Hobgoblin Tribe decided they were going to settle up near the mountains. Met up with some troll traders, and I guess they paid good money for a short little curiosity such as me. This here is where the fascinating bit begins. You see, I am not a average gnome at this point, no. He indicates to the color of his skin and the fact that everything about him is gray. This is where the magical experiments began. The giants seemed to think they had something to gain from me. As such, many spells and incantations by their shamans were used over my poor, broken form. I have seen my guts, have you? Have you seen your own heart beating? I have. Their spells kept me alive, but it was a terrible pain. A pain that sticks with me to this day. Every beat, I feel it through my body. I guess at some point they grew bored. I ended up in the jungle, cast out by them. For no reason that I really understood. Wandered up the mountains, figured if I could go north, maybe I'd end up with another group that would imprison me, feed me, and possibly treat me better. And now I have ended up with these vegapygmies who appear to have just wanted to throw all sorts of things at me.
Do you know? Well,
They didn't get the irony of my art.
So
Well,
is he looking for a
good
sugar
news
daddy,
is
or-
we're here to get you, take you some more civilized area where you won't be a prisoner. I don't know if you're cool with not being a prisoner,
Does
but
that mean... Oh, I have not used this word in a long time. Work!
Probably.
Yeah. I guess.
what did you used to do before you were a prisoner? What was your occupation in the expedition?
Occupation in the expedition. We're referencing 2
Readers.
centuries ago. That would have been... He kind of ponders back. Researcher? Yes, that is the term. Again, word I've not used in a long time.
All right. Yeah, we can take you either to the name of insert name of first location.
Define first Benek Atzel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Benegatsol, or our new settlement in the mountains. Ish.
The mountains, yes. Our expedition was headed there, I recall.
Yeah, some of them made it to the mine specifically, and just
Wonderful. Some of them. Southern group?
unknown at this point. We don't know what happened to them. Presume.
Are you intending to deliberately mislead him? Because yes, it is the Southern group, you know that.
The southern group went and settled successfully?
Yes, the Northern group is the one that was never heard from again.
Oh, I thought there was the one group and the northern group.
Oh,
This
well,
group and
technically there were
southern
3 groups. Technically, it's the middle group that survived.
Yeah.
The one that went all the way south. He is referring to the middle group.
Yes,
So, the middle group.
Yes,
Yes.
the middle group.
Okay. Good.
Yes. Also, do you know why the pygmies seem to be gathering random stuff?
He shakes his head. All I know is it had to do with me. As he kind of motions back, you see a small pile of, best you could determine them would be treasures, a shattered plant pot that is about 2 feet wide and 3 feet tall.
See a lodestone?
There is a lodestone back there.
Hey, I found it. I go back and get it. Like, sure, we can get you out of here.
I'm going to be just nonchalantly walking past them and investigating.
Yeah. He watches with amusement. You see the plants decorated, the plant totems decorated in various stages of distress and death.
I introduced ourselves, by the way, and what expedition we were part of.
Wonderful. Well, if my explorations are done, I guess it is suited that I join you.
Excellent.
Can you defend yourself?
I am capable, yes.
How
Now
so?
that I magical means.
Does he look like he has any wounds on him?
No.
Alright, I guess we'll escort him out. I'll see if anything else.
Being a prisoner rather suited me, as I did not have to hunt, I did not have to work, and I got to experience the majority of this continent.
Yes,
Good
we
for
will
you.
probably be asking many questions and hearing all your stories about that and mapping it out if we can.
You
Do
can
you have any
even write a
information on
song about.
the strange beasts in this continent?
Strange beasts, yes, I have saw many when I was with the hobgoblins.
I eagerly take out a notebook and as we go.
Yep. He goes on to describe to you a death elephant. It is a
What?
large-based creature, somewhere in the length of 30 feet long, standing about 10 feet high, smelling of rot, and to the point where the flesh almost curdles on its own bones.
So an
Almost.
necrotic elephant.
Pretty much. No tusks other than just small, like, warthog tusks coming out.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll be heading up to Bella, whatever.
Alright.
I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the name.
Yep. So you guys get up to the intersection where it tees off. Left goes deeper. Right, you guys continue up to the surface. And
Oh, does he know anything about where the cave goes? Anything past the cave? Know about
down into the deep ruins.
ruins?
Yes. Odd, featureless ruins they are. I was down there once before the Vegapygmies decided it was bad to stay there.
Any reason in particular, like monsters or anything like that?
He chuckles. I think it was making them insane.
Ah. Okay. So new. We'll mark it on the map and maybe get to it eventually, some point. Probably not, never. All right.
One day in another lifetime.
Just a little red skull icon on the map.
All right. Yeah, we'll head out and head toward city when we got the lodestone.
All right. Past 1 week.
Once we get to that point where I can switch around some spells,
Yeah.
I would like to, during our travels, I would like to set up a zone of truth
Okay.
and actually sit down 1-to-1 with this gnome.
All right. We'll roleplay that out here because we're at a camping scene anyway. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, yay.
Cutscene.
So,
All right. So one of these times you settle down at camp, you finished up your long rest, you've been able to swap out your
I can do,
spells.
yeah. I can do it as a ritual spell.
Okay. You still need it prepped to use it as a ritual.
At the beginning of the week when I can change it due to
Yep.
a long rest. Yeah.
Through
All right.
that a week, I'm also going to change into my summer form.
All right.
And I'll be attempting to fix my crossbow.
Okay.
And I will be trying to.
Do you have woodworker's tools? Woodworker's tools are required to repair
Required. Okay, never
Yep.
mind. I'll be wait. So I'll be doing that when we get back.
Cleaning my costume.
it. All right. So a zone of truth is set up in the middle of camp. You see the gnome just kind of look at it with amusement, and just one hop, and he's in it. You see him just kind of shuffle around like he's getting comfy, and just settle in, staring you straight in the eyes.
This is a show of good faith.
Oh yes.
This is an opportunity that I do with anybody that I feel there might be some uncommon ground.
Sure.
I do this in honor of my people, that you participate as well willingly.
I do.
during that time, I do want to briefly go over his story, just to make sure that he did.
He goes through,
He
gives you
was-
an identical description to what he has done before. Everything registers as truthful.
I tell him a bit of my backstory, and tell him where I come from, my people, because I'm a very rare people. Usually, a lot of races don't see Tritons very often. So I give him a little bit of my backstory, my history with my parents. Our people's battles in the Great Sea.
Since this is a zone of truth, I must yawn.
I'm just I'm doing a background check, okay?
So he said he saw Death Elf.
I'm taking.
What is that?
I'm
Like a
probably
little
nearby
Oxidon,
that, right?
Cleric of Death.
Am I nearby that?
Yes.
All right, I'm taking note of everything he says.
Yep.
That's fine. Just get a sense of his. I guess you would put it in alignment. Just a gauge of
He
So-
appears to be lawful neutral, tending toward lawful good.
Ask him, kind of give him the situation where we are with our camp and everything, and get his actual feel of what he thinks he would be able to provide to this camp for food and shelter and everything.
Food, shelter. He admits he's not really useful in that.
Okay.
However,
No, I mean for food and shelter.
oh, for food and
exchange.
shelter.
Yes, in exchange.
Oh, he indicates that he is very skilled when it comes to enchantments and charms.
And
Perfect. And so we'll just go back and forth throughout the night and exchange stories of battles and when he was a prisoner and just that bonding phase.
There's a lot of stories about him, and then I saw them and I surrendered.
So, yeah, that'll be my whole thing.
oh, he made a friend.
No, I did a thorough background on him. I vetted him to make sure I could actually trust him. I know. So, yeah, that'll be it.
You have the book I'm looking for, Jenna.
Slayer Camp?
Yes.
In my sleep.
All right. So, what's watch order for you guys?
I need it for sleep, so
I'll take a first watch.
I'll take second and whatever's left.
actually,
I'll take
I don't
first
need
as
this.
well.
All right.
I'll take, I guess, second.
So we've got two elves.
Yeah.
Or two people who can trance.
Tritons?
No,
Tritons
Tritons
do
cannot
not
trance.
Okay.
We do not trance.
So there's going to be a total of 2 watches. You're on second watch as trancing. So,
I'll go on first with the druid.
all right. So first watch. Well, first watches. Give me perceptions. 12,
15.
15.
I do wanted to point in there that during that whole circle of zone of truth, I
Mhm.
did invite everybody else. And blah blah blah. So yeah.
All right.
I did not enter the zone of truth. I was outside of it. And just listening.
Yeah.
You're sitting right on the outside with the bowl of popcorn.
Cleaning my
Fair
costume.
enough.
Just over my shoulder listening.
All right. Overall, the night is relatively calm. Let's make a weather roll. Weather, it stayed clear. So, a little unusual, but it's getting late in the summer toward the end of what would be the wet season up against the coast. So, maybe the dry season's coming a tad early this time. Occasional sound of small animals, but nothing out of the ordinary. Second watch. Ding ding!
Okay, that's a 7.
Natural 1. I fall asleep.
I rolled a 2 on the die, which is a 7 for me.
Which means you also don't see him falling asleep. And yes, I do roll nat ones on watch as going to sleep.
Yes, I know.
Yes, you do. Roll me a perception again, Tyler.
Yeah, I've been given these plenty of opportunity.
12.
12. You wake up halfway through your watch.
Okay.
Like, oh, hey, I wasn't supposed to be asleep.
Yeah. Everything's still normal.
Everything's still normal. What's the perception? What was your perception?
7.
7. So the gnome is also awake on second watch with you. You see him kind of parsing through a small book he has with him.
What?
Yeah, he just had it.
Ask him what it's about.
This. It is a research journal. You see him shunted away into a pocket dimension. I have a small pocket dimension I can hold things in.
That's convenient.
Okay. The gnome has hammer space, right? Oh, okay. That's cool.
However, you see him just kind of halt and then mutter a spell. You see little rocks pull up and start to orbit him. And then immediately they dart off into the underbrush.
Something I should
Where
know.
you hear screeching and then no more screeching. Yes. Small predator. Approached. It's dead now if you want it.
Sure.
He had the highest perception of people on watch.
I guess you get first dibs on whatever I cook from it.
Wonderful.
I go in. What was it?
You get over there, and there is a... Give me a second to... What the death elf? No.
Technically, am I not a death elf now? I'm a CEO. Cleric of the Grave.
There is
If a
a
Loxodon
large
is a
panther.
brave player, are they
Sweet.
a death elf?
Grab that.
Yep. A large panther is, you would see as well, is pulled out of the underbrush. You see wounds like it's been hit with a shotgun blast to the face.
Who's else on second watch?
That looks like a nice jacket.
What's your? I'll try and gut it. And
Okay, go ahead and give me a
I
survival
will
roll.
assist him so he gets advantage.
Yep.
15.
15? You've done a reasonable job. It's sufficient food and the pelt, it's passable.
Pocket the pelt, and he gets first dibs on what cooking.
He looks at it. Don't cook. That's not my
Oh,
job.
I'm cooking. Just
Oh.
what cut you want?
The heart, please.
Strange choice, but I like it.
I
guess I'll cook what he wants.
How do you
and-
cook a heart? I've never cooked a heart.
I guess you're boiling it.
You say boiling it will tender it up. It's got a really meaty flavor to it.
It's
It's a
almost like
muscle.
a meat.
Do you want me to roll another
it's
survival for
crazy.
cooking?
Hmm?
Do you want me to roll another survival for cooking?
Yep.
I will assist you. We are cooking buddies.
Nat 20.
Nat 20?
I had a nat 20 and nat failure.
Yeah, it was a 1 and a nat 20.
So
I was like,
it's-
You're welcome.
you received amplest. Well, no, you were the nat 1. How do I know?
You didn't roll which one first.
One of them's green, one of them's red. I literally wear red all the time. Which one do you think is me?
It's true. It's true.
Sorry, buddy.
That said, expertly cooked, expertly prepared. The gnome sits back and he appears very, very content with his meal. As the heart itself is, I mean, relatively sizable. It's a full meal for him. But you're also able to cook some of the choicer bits so that you guys wake up to panther bacon.
Ooh.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I accidentally turned British. I was doing it somewhat Khajiit accent before. Suddenly I'm turning British.
You know,
that's how it
Like
happens.
rival
It's all right.
clans or certain.
Does anyone else want more of the food?
Nope, eat it, bro.
not at the moment.
What about you over there?
And me?
No.
Oh no, I said you're good.
Okay.
All right, so
Oh, and I was also wanting to see if I would be able during the travels to work on gathering things to make either healing salves or possibly
Nature
ingredients for healing potions.
nature check.
Nature. Natural 14.
14. You're able. Go ahead and roll 2d4 for ingredients.
6.
All right, you have 6 ingredients.
Hey.
You kind of know how this works. Each ingredient goes into a salve. You can combine 2 salves to create a single potion.
Okay.
You've done this before with me. All right, so
Well,
functionally, you get 1 roll crafting per week if you want to use that. All right, 1 more week of travel, and you guys have arrived at the settlement you were headed to with said ship.
And it's burning.
And it's burning. So you arrive, and they greet you a little bit out of the city as one of their scouting patrols would have seen you approaching.
Alright, good
And
times
you-
you trying to put the loads down.
Escorted back in, your monk has been giving the player who's not here, has been providing ample support and manual labor into building and running basic training for the crew. As he had sailed out here, he has basic training himself.
Sweet.
They estimate they're going to need about a week's work with everyone to finish up the ship and crew to get it sailing now.
Alright, I guess.
If you want to assist with construction, that's an athletics or acrobatics check. If you want to assist with the crew, that is a mental stat check.
I will assist with acrobatics.
I'll do the crew.
I'm fixing my crossbow.
Natural 20.
And they have tools, so you can go ahead.
Alright. Lovely. Rolling or just fix it. Put on my fit.
You do need to roll.
What do I add?
It's a DC 10.
I'm helping on the
3.
ship.
Nope.
Alright. So, nope.
What roll did you get mine?
Just a
Nat
mental
20.
or physical stat. Depending on what you want to do.
Physical stat. For underwater work for the base of the ship.
What are you doing?
Physical work.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and roll.
underwater, for
Sure.
underneath the ship.
I mean, it's in a dry dock.
Oh, never mind. Physical. That's fine. That's cocked. That's a 6.
All right, and it's a group check. So, what do you have?
Natural 1.
Okay.
I was wanting to like gather food and help get them supplied, but you know, I try helping on the boat first, guys. Come on.
And for moral support, not
Yeah.
straight.
I don't know what I'm doing on the ship.
Chat says, too bad players can't roll to hear the voices that are chat.
Unless you start a group chat on Skype with them in it.
All right, so progress is slow, but at the end of the week, the ship is completed. Because his nat 20 cancels out your nat 1.
Thanks. I probably fell off the ship at some point.
I'm sending a letter so you know what the heck's going on.
Sutu has been appointed to take the letter and the ship across the sea. He will be protecting it for its voyage.
Okay. I'm going to talk to.
Travis this close to killing the gnome, by the way. They're this close to murdering the gnome.
Who's the overall head of this place? The dork.
Technically, Keeper Araf is in charge. He's the human.
All right. I'll talk to Keeper Raft and kind of discuss with him about the chances of getting erecting another building here, basically as kind of for incoming people, a kind of office to keep track of them.
They have been improving their quarters and port as the ships will be setting in here. And then They have managed to put together materials to send with the first group that will come to you to begin additional construction. So you guys will get one more influx of supplies from them.
Okay. I'm saying more of a.
Guys, they did interrogate. All right, give me a second, chat. They did interrogate the gnome. They put him in a zone of truth and asked him questions. I think
And
chat.
then
I think chat missed that.
I think we've done 3, 4 insight checks.
Yep.
So we're trying.
We also detected the crazy.
Yeah.
How long after the ship is complete will it be setting out?
Now.
Because I was going to see if I could start writing a letter to my family and mentor.
You may write said letter, yes.
Okay, just to let them know that I went on to this expedition because I didn't tell them that.
I was more like trying to get Billy to sort of charge of like trade, like figuring out okay, we got this much, like making note of it.
Yeah.
They
Stuff like
just know
that.
I left out being a
Mostly for my health, for the house I work for. Have our
Yeah.
stuff somewhere. So that's the first thing people see is, hey, look.
Yep.
Do I have to roll charisma for that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me charisma for the, well, both of you, for well-writtenness of your respective letters. You may take advantage as you spent the entire week writing it rather than assisting.
Yeah.
So you can roll with advantage.
And what stat was that?
15 for the letter.
Charisma.
Just straight charisma.
Well
That's
written.
19.
Very well written.
And this is for, I guess, the chat discussing the thing.
With what?
The building construction.
Oh, go ahead.
What point?
Okay.
Much better. 13.
13 is much better.
Other than that one, yeah.
Yeah.
The keeper kind of indicates that there's no room for discussion on this.
Okay.
If they had more, they would give it.
All right. Okay, so I guess the ship
But
sails.
you guys have spent a week here. We are now entering the first week of fall.
Before we left there, since we are at the coast, I would know what kind of fish life was there. Correct.
No.
Okay.
You guys are on a separate continent that would have an independent biosphere, both aquatic and terrestrial.
That's fine. Appreciate it.
How dare you make assumptions? How dare you assume our biome?
Chat is still, they don't believe, they don't like your zone of truth. Your zone of truth was wrong.
He is a gnome.
It's a zone of lies.
I mean,
They
that's
don't
fine.
think you asked the right questions.
I mean, he gets a saving throw.
Well, we
Yeah,
never
no,
directly
and he
asked him
has
what his
advantage on
intent
that saving
was.
throw. So.
It's all good.
Do
But
what
a
you
zone
can.
of truth, you know if they pass their saving throw.
Oh, do you?
You
That's
let
why
them
I
to fail.
asked if you
Oh,
would participate
know that.
willingly.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yes. So, unless I notice anything hinky, it's all truth.
Roll
Yep.
for Hinky.
Roll for hinky. So,
All right, so I guess head back now that the ship sailed away. When
Yep.
can we expect the earliest a return vessel?
It's about 4 weeks out, 4 weeks back.
Okay. So 2
Provided average winds.
Yeah, so about 2 months average, probably.
If we went back and immediately came back, then like it takes a long time to get back.
Yeah,
to
probably
the
2 months and probably like a week for them to organize their ship to do it. All right, I guess head back to our place now.
All right.
Anything?
I'd like
Oh,
to try and
I
set up
mentioned the
as much-
ruins to the elf chick.
Etha.
Etha.
She nods and says, there have been sightings of ruins, but given that they were never able to set up anything successful, they have never delved into them.
Okay, sorry, I'll tell you.
You're good. Now I gotta remember what I was gonna do. I'd like to set up a caravan with if they could spare any more people or
Anyone they could spare
supplies.
went on the ship.
Okay.
Which was a skeleton crew.
Oh yeah,
But-
I understand.
dead shit.
Is there any other supplies that we could take from here to go to our new place?
They sent all that with you already.
Well, that was over a month ago, so that's why I was asking.
Did you say they're about to send some stuff with us?
They're putting together a pallet of construction materials, but they will be doing that while you guys are gone, rather than constructing the ship as they were previously.
Okay.
So that once the next group arrives, they will come with construction goods.
All right, sweet. All right, I think I just head back to the city and make sure it's not
I also
on fire or
wanted
something.
to talk to Etha about like more in depth about setting up a trade route once we get everything set up.
Okay. Etha indicates that they really don't produce much of value. They're initially just going to be servicing as a port of entry. They have no desire to set up a trade route.
Well, I know that didn't they also want some stones from the mine?
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah, they have nothing to give us return for it now. So
They understand that right now their understanding would be we're going to be a port of entry that will eventually generate an economy. Once that occurs, maybe. That's going to take some time.
Alright.
Alright, so you guys are traveling back. The gnome has indicated he is accompanying you because he doesn't want to stay here.
okay.
I'm gonna ask him if he has any means of communicating with anybody via long distances.
I can check that.
Or if he knows anything about runic circles.
Runic circles, he would indicate he is passingly familiar with them, though has not studied them.
Okay.
I can also give him something to do.
Well, I figure since he was a researcher, like we find anywhere he was like researcher.
Especially if there's nothing better for him to be
He is
doing.
more than capable of communicating with people over distances.
Hey.
Alright. We might have just wasted an entire ship.
It's not that far, right? It's not.
You need to be sending the ship out because that's
Yeah.
how people get here.
Well, no, I understand that. I just meant that we could have told them they could have had another ship or built something. We could have said that.
You could,
Maybe.
if
How
he
far
had-
away?
he had to know
how
that
far away can
person.
you send a message?
Oh, how far can he?
You can send
Give me a
to the
second.
phones.
I can't pull that.
If it's sending, it can go anywhere.
It's not sending.
Oh, okay. I was just kidding. Just in case he needed to holler for help.
He's got a fairly long range, but it's not across the ocean long.
Far enough to like maybe communicate between here and our city.
He'd be able to do that.
There you go.
Alright, we found a communications major.
Lovely. Range special. Okay. What's range special?
Walkie-talkie
What-
range.
What is it? Are we allowed to know?
Ham radio. Satellite.
I don't know that.
Oh, he has a certain limited number of people he can communicate with. That's why it's range special.
Oh, okay.
Is that permanent or just like that he can do it once?
He indicates that with some effort and knowing the person, he can find a way to communicate with them.
Okay.
But without knowing a person, there's no way. And if he hasn't spent time with them,
Yeah.
it's just not possible.
Yeah, I guess.
Which would explain why he's not been able to use it to communicate to anyone, because everyone he knew he came with is dead.
Yeah.
Or previously imprisoned him and he had no need to speak with them.
Alright, can we say then that we were having him talk with that though for a while while we were building the ship?
Sure.
Right.
He says he can't communicate with elves. Elves have a straight up, I just can't.
Alright, what about the human, the keeper?
He would be able to speak with the keeper.
Got it.
I was thinking that already. Now I know.
Yeah.
Now we have a walkie-talkie radio.
But
Or say
it's not all elves.
because
I don't
Yeah.
agree. Never, but I do. Yeah. Elf trans.
Take your bards.
you don't identify with elves.
You identify with this.
I'm in that gray area.
Alright, so I guess we're heading back.
Yep. Alright. And
Okay.
random chance encounter dice. Go,
I'm
go,
gonna
go,
make
go,
sure
go,
our
go,
city's
go.
on fire while we're gone.
All right. Week 2. You've traveled the mountains. Perceptions all.
22.
Natural 20, 25.
Okay.
18.
20.
I think that's 20, right? So that's what they look like.
Yes.
I always forget.
12.
Like 20, 22, 21, 20, 12.
And
you did have a 2 in there. Though.
I did.
7.
Not right.
18.
18. Alright. 15's plus. You guys have come across what's a part of a mountain that appears to have been stripped bare by some form of rock slide.
Okay.
20's plus, you see that there is some gleaming up among the rocks.
Some gleaming.
Yes. Something metallic or reflective. Objects the size no more than that of a baseball.
I'm going to.
Weird rock slide.
Based on the composition of the mountain,
Chinese.
would I have an idea of what type of
Chinese.
would
Climate
it,
speed you
Chinese.
want
would
to
it
go?
make sense for it to be any type of mineral or anything?
It's possible.
I just didn't know if it would anything would
I'm gonna
stick out
check
to
it
me.
out. How far is it? Like all the way up a cliff?
I mean, it's probably about a DC 15 climb check. Just because of the loose stones.
Indicate to Lucky Fish, ask her, please help me check it out. Or make sure this isn't like a raid or ambush or something.
Alright, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
That is 14.
Alright, you stealth. Once you are out in the rock slide, you will not be hidden, but you are stealthed on approach. Just because once you're out on the rock slide there, you need at least light obscurement to hide. There's 0 obscurement. But you get up there silently, you don't see any motion or any indication that anything would have seen you. Alright, give me a acrobatics or athletics check. Claws don't help on rocks.
That is 18
Yep.
acrobatics.
That's sufficient. You kind of are dancing between rocks. Occasionally you'll see like some rocks just kind of trouble down, maybe just a small little, nothing that would really classify as a rock slide, more a pebble slide. There's a couple pebble slides that you trigger, but you're just dancing up the rocks, just jumping around, having a good old cat time. Till you've approached one of the objects in front of you, and they're in different shapes, but there's various metallic bits here. In size, I said no larger than a baseball, but they are kind of ovalish, flattish, elongated. They have various runic markings on them as well.
Booklet stick.
You find a small little twig that would be from a branch. It's about as long as this pencil, and you just push it a little bit. It slides in and among the rocks.
Tentatively touch.
All right. You poke it with a claw, and you feel a cold kind of seeping up through your nail.
Go.
Yep.
Let's see. I suppose if there's something I could try to pick it up with, that's
What do you have in your inventory?
what I'm looking for. Maybe
Maybe get something to push it down the cliff so the rest of us can pick it up while you push it down.
Now, from your description, it says that it sounds like there's more than one.
Yes. She is at 1.
maybe I use like my winter clothing, so we're not
Sure.
just that's what to pick them up and wrap them up.
Okay. You've been able to collect 3 of them.
Alright.
Those are the only ones you're able to find.
Alright. I head back down.
All right.
Roll in or
You're crossing the
Yep.
debris field.
that's an 8 acrobatics.
8. Roll again.
That's 18 on the die.
Okay. You get out. You have triggered a small rock slide that probably would have hurt you if you'd have been in it. Because it looks like one of the bushes it went over comes out basically stripped bare and looked like it's been run through a pressure washer, except the pressure washer is shooting pebbles.
Found these rune stones, clearly magical. I touched one tentatively and felt a chill.
Ask the gnome if
I
you see
just-
anything like.
The gnome looks at him. There's some sort of runestone, yes. I'm unfamiliar with these specific ones. Runestones are not my specialty, sadly.
What do runestones do?
Anything. No two runestones do the same thing. Most of the large ones are protective. These are not large.
I asked you to point out the one that felt a cold.
Yep, so you lay them out flat.
That's
Three
the
of
one I
them.
touched.
The
Didn't
one that
want
you
to take
touched.
a chance with the others.
Can I attempt to touch each one individually?
All of them at once.
Touch everything.
Why? Why test it?
Right.
He wants a new
hand
character,
on
that's
cold
why.
rune.
I already
Yeah.
tested it.
So
That's
all
cool.
three, as you go through them, have a searing cold to them. So much so that it almost feels like after you've let go of it, it's like it's got to be like 90 degrees. My hand has to be on fire
Right, so they're
due to
probably
the
all
sheer
same
difference in
one.
heat. What?
So they're probably all three of them do the same thing then.
How they do all do the same thing. You're the first person to actually like flesh contact with them. 3 wisdom saving throws.
Oh,
Wisdom,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm glad.
3 saving
Pick a
throws.
die
There
for
is no bonus as they are not an attribute currently on your character sheet.
You said 3 wisdom
No,
saving
no,
throws?
not wisdom. It's
3
just
saving throws, but they're straight dice rolls,
Oh.
as you don't have the attribute on your sheet.
13.
4, 6, and 13.
4, 6, 13.
I chose mine.
The purple one rolls on those.
Yeah. There's the book. Fortunately for you, these are low powered.
No.
What were the 3 saves?
touch the weird mystery
4, 6, and 13.
All right.
Find out what it does.
Yeah, but there's other ways to do that. It's more safe.
This way, go very quickly identified what one of them they did. All right, I want a D100 roll.
Oh boy. That is a 91.
Ooh, what if one of those fireball?
All right,
We're all standing
roll me a
next to
D10. Actually, you don't need to be rolling me a D10. I'm gonna roll me that D10.
Well, it was a 9 anyways.
It's all right.
What
I've got a
point of
number.
having the runestone?
He
touch
falls
it, cast
unconscious.
fireball?
Okay.
As an ambush.
Roll me a D100.
92.
Roll me a D10. Actually, I roll me a D10 because you don't get to know the duration.
Oh no.
Why didn't you have to make saving throws when you touched them?
I touched with a claw like a
Add it to
cat.
the weapon.
It's still part of your hand.
It's on a rod.
Oh, it's a flash.
It's a metal rod.
It's kind of
it
in
wasn't.
between.
It wasn't a rod. It was
So the other character that you were talking
Was it an
about.
orb or is it like this weird rod thing?
They are. Give me a second. Let me bookmark this page. They are oval, about like this, at max thickness, about inch thickness.
Yeah.
Parrying out and oval in shape.
Okay.
Parrying out to maybe about a quarter inch on the rim.
Do I need to do a third? Do you
No,
want to-
no, your third one passed.
Okay.
But yeah, he's on the ground unconscious. He just kind of touches him. You see him look, kind of make a weird grimace, and then just fall over.
Can I do a medicine check just to get a sense of if
Yeah,
he's,
sure.
if he's dead, if he's unconscious,
Yeah.
like passed out, sleeping,
Go ahead.
shock. That's another natural 20.
can't get it.
You identify there is no physical malady affecting his body, and he is unconscious, not sleeping.
Can I go to one of them and cast Identify on it?
Sure. You cast Identify. It returns nothing,
It's not a 0 hit point.
as it is
Oh,
not
it's
a
just
magical
knocked
item.
out. Okay.
Alright.
I ain't worried about it. Yeah.
I have 5 spells that says nothing.
You wasted spell slot
Why not?
because it's a ritual and you could save that spell slot.
And that's well, fair. Can I do an Arcana check to see if I know anything about the type of condition that he's
Sure.
affected by?
Yep.
That one.
I'm gonna do the same.
Probably Finger of Death.
Oh my god! I'm gonna do the same.
Go for it.
That's a natural 19.
All right.
What roll? What
Medicine is what you were rolling.
Medicine? Oh, 21.
Oh, sorry, you were rolling Arcana.
Oh, Arcana. That's even better. It's a 19.
All right, so with an Arcana, you're able to at least get to identify that whatever it is, it's an affliction of the mind. Based on the effect, it's probably going to pass.
All right. Again.
Am I dreaming?
Nope.
Do elves dream?
Elves cannot dream.
So I give him a once over. I've seen this in the past, and it seems that he is just unconscious for the time being. It will pass.
Okay, good. In the meantime, does anyone have something
might
else to
or
hold
might
it in? I don't want
not
to use my winter
eventually
clothing
be
for
in.
this.
But it's a chance.
No.
I still have a winter cloak that I don't think we need right now.
Nope, it's still early fall.
At least for now, we can wrap it up in that.
Yeah,
Also, we still have the panther fur belt.
You have the Panther Pellet, yes.
you don't
use
want
that?
to damage that yet, though.
It's not been treated, it's still in raw pelt form.
Oh, right.
Without a tannery, it's going to rot over a
Where's
short
Greg
period
when
of
you need
time.
him?
Yeah.
There was no tanner back at the place, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
There's no tanner where you're going either.
No. I can try and tan it.
Can I learn how to? With no assistance whatsoever.
All right. How long do you guys want to wait here?
Not waiting too long.
With my 19, would I have any knowledge on how long it might last?
1d10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm just picking him up and moving along.
All right.
Yes, I've got the runestones on mine. Written on my sheet. So.
Yep. All right. You guys continue moving. 10 minutes go by. You awake. You are being carried. Stop. You can't talk.
I was going to see if I could roll deception to make them think I'm still asleep.
The awakening is too sudden, as unconscious is an unnatural state for elves, as they never fully enter it,
Okay.
as you normally trance.
Probably like.
So I know he's up.
Died.
Yeah.
Unceremoniously drop. Do not catch. Or lower.
You kind of just flop over to the side,
Can
which
I
further
face step
startles
onto
you
my
awake.
feet?
Sure.
Just instantly.
Yeah, middle of the fall, he just kind of rights himself, and he's standing.
Reaction.
Can I
Hey,
choose
Gilray,
not to
no
use-
haircut.
Can I choose not to use the secondary effect of my face step?
Which is?
Fire damage.
Yes.
Fire damage?
Does
Or
it
you
say
could-
may, or
or you
does
could
it say
still
you
use it.
must?
Or actually, I'll just face step like 10 feet away from him.
So that there's no chance. Okay.
Yeah.
Wreathed in just
Oh,
a
no.
little firelessly
Do
glow,
fire damage right now.
and he appears out there. But yeah, you go to say something, and you can't talk.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe you touched him either.
I look at him and tell him, don't worry, it'll pass. We'll get it figured out.
Just a thumbs up.
Do you remember which one? Do you remember which one it was?
Yes, because the silent diplomat is nice.
That's the best of them.
The one that they're trying to deal with, and you're just sitting there,
No, it's like,
never responding, and they start backpedaling on themselves. And you're trying to negotiate something. You just.
And then just the random.
you just do this.
It's like the.
Oh, that would be horrible because I just took arcane tricks. I wouldn't be able to cast any of my spells.
If they have a
Except
verbal,
for minor illusion.
if they have a verbal component, you are incapable of casting them.
I can only cast minor illusion.
So, good morning.
Minor illusion and good
I'm imagining like Bitmojis just. Good morning.